What's up, everybody? It's Fine right here, and I'm back to give you guys an top speed tune. This is gonna be another requested one, the Fairlady Z version S Z33. This one's actually not that bad. Actually, I was honestly surprised at how fast this went. Um, Sadly, it's not on the low tier of the contenders of the cars that can go at least 250 and plus, but it is close enough to it that it could do decent as long as you can bump draft and stuff like that. I mean, with NOS, you could possibly hit a pretty good speed, but this is a 246 tune. Um, but I will let you guys know this right now. The 246 I got went with ideal, if not, if it wasn't ideal, it was so close to ideal wind direction that I was able to get 246 with this. So, um, most likely you're gonna hit 245, with average, I guess say the close to ideal winds direction. So don't be surprised if I hit 245, if maybe even 244, but still 245, 246 ain't too bad for a lot of the cars now. Um, The suspension is pretty basic for like just like how most of my other suspension tunes are in my in most of my other tunes. Um, in one of my previous tunes, you guys could try out that new suspension tune that I tried out. It does help it out in the tunnel. It may increase um, the peak, I guess the performance, I guess you say, for the top speed you could possibly get, but generally this is why I normally go based off of for a really good generic suspension. For downforce, it it won't really matter for downforce exactly as long as you have it all the way down to 70. You could add like wing to the back, but if you do, most likely the rear downforce will go up for the minimum. So I wouldn't try that unless you want this for a Daytona, I guess, because Daytona you could probably hit 240 in most of the cars like this and still do good speed in the turns and handling. So, uh, going over to the transmission. From what I remember, it's stock top speed is at 270, so you want to bring up to 350. Because I don't remember it being at 350. Once you get to 350, all you have to do is just take the final from stock and bring down to 2.879, and you should be good. Fifth gear is where you're gonna be running. Sixth gear is plenty long enough for any possible draft if you need it. If fifth gear is too short for drafting, and definitely for NOS if you have NOS equipped. Um, as I said before, though, with the current speed, you could possibly hit 270 maybe, if not in the mid 260s with NOS, because that seems to be the general basis for most of the cars now uh, for when you use NOS. But yeah, well, I'm gonna have the truck to show you where it hits it and or all that stuff. I will let you guys know this. You will need the rear diffuser for in order to get these speeds. If you're not running the rear diffuser, then you'll most likely hit maybe 240 if that. Like you'll be lucky to hit 240 without the rear diffuser. The rear diffuser adds about 8 mile per hour to 10 mile per hour to a different to the majority of the cars that can have it, which is not a whole lot. I mean, so far I think there's like I want to say 3, possibly 5 tunes I have currently right now that only specifically run the diffuser to gain extra speed, and the reason why is because it makes the car a little bit lower to the ground, it sucks down to the ground, and makes you quote unquote more aerodynamic. Because that's generally how most of the cars are now. How the physics are, you want the most aerodynamic, efficient car you can possibly get in order to get really high speeds. That's why the Veyron is pretty good because it's pretty aerodynamic. The Corvette, especially the C6, is very aerodynamic because it's so low to the ground and it's wide, so it's able to get much higher speeds. This is pretty decent aerodynamic. It's not probably the best in the aerodynamic, but it is pretty good though. So it won't hinder itself for being a blocky car. I'm pretty sure people are like, well, you got the Nismo. Nismo, granted, is kind of big and bulky, but it is still technically aerodynamic because it doesn't have a lot of rough edges. Like the Nova. The Nova was sport. Nah, it was a brick sport and it's a brick in here. It's mainly strictly for drag. As I said, as you hear, it goes pretty good in turn. I would not advise a whole lot in trying to go too quickly down to the bottom with most of the cars. I know some cars are going to have a little more easier time. This one, you could get down too quickly, but it would depend on how if you can get the suspension correct for the well, as I said before though, my suspensions are mainly strictly for the top speed, but also gives you the best handling in the front. But yeah, as you guys see here, it's slowly climbing up to the 240s. If it doesn't hit 245, it most likely hit 244, which is no surprise. The wind speed is very low, which is okay, but the main factor was the wind direction. The wind direction is giving us a little bit of a boost, so it's going to be able to push us at least 244 before it's on. If not, that's how big the boost is in the speed of the wind. Because I had ideal wind direction at about, I think, between 12 and 15 feet per second, so it was pushing me quite far, and that's generally how far I normally go. But as you see here, granted, I'm not in 243, but I do know it will hit 246, and close to ideal wind speed, but not definitely 245. But yeah, that's gonna be about it. If you like the video, hit like. Also subscribe for more videos. I post at least twice a week for top speed tunes for now until later on, and I'll be posting more like racing episodes, stuff like that. Also share if you guys could. Get these tunes out there one, so that way everyone has the I would say general basis on how these cars can be reacting now to how the GT7 is now. And also comment if you have any questions or any other cars you would like to request me to do a top speed tune on. Comment down below. I'll do them. Eventually, I'll do them. I got 2 more cars lined up for that have been requested, which will be next week's 2 cars, and then if I don't get any requests, I'll still do a couple of. I'll still bring out more top speed tunes because there's still a good, I think, 15 to 20 cars still left to go for me to go through in order to go down the list of the cars I have already pre-listed, I guess you could say. But yeah.